right, welcome to our first episode of Campus Conversations, where we talk to faculty and staff about how they're doing during this moment of quarantine, social distancing, and just try to reconnect with people on campus that we miss from campus. And so for our first episode here, we are joined by Kristopher Smalls, who works with us in the campus ministry office. What's keeping you busy these days? How are you doing?
Doing all right. Life's a journey right now, but doing the best I can. How are you doing?
I'm right. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. I like the word journey. I like pilgrimage. I think this is a journey where we're physically not going anywhere, but we are.
Yeah.
In like one sense, it's a very much a mental journey. So, what's been going on in your neck of the woods? What's keeping you busy? How's everything looking?
Pretty much the same as usual. Besides this whole quarantine thing, it kind of like happened so fast. It kind of like messed up my whole routine and everything. Because not only do I work at with campus ministry, I'm also a student at Fordham University for my graduate degree in social work. So like, since all this happened, like classes shut down and now we're all online, and it's kind of like rough trying to transition over to fully online instead of like some of my classes being in class. A lot of us have anxiety over this because it's kind of hard to balance it all, because not only are we trying to get the work done, but we're also trying to look out for our family members and our own mental health and things like that. So it's definitely a transition for sure, and it's hard to balance, but like you just got to think about the end goal.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a lot of good points there. I was very happy to have this conversation with you, especially because you are a student still, in a very different way than many of our students on campus. But you have that perspective, which I'm not a student anymore. So, and one of the things that when this all started to happen, my first thought was, wow, what would this be like if I was a student? How much that can change your trajectory and different things and how difficult it is. And I think you spoke to it about how students are feeling really overwhelmed and there's just a lot of work. And I think faculty are too, because so many faculty, some of our friends on campus are amazing in classroom speakers. And now to transition, it's a lot. And not only are you getting a degree, but you're getting your master's too, which is really tricky already, and on top of this kind of circumstance. What have you been finding in this? You're doing your schoolwork and that's really important, but have you had moments where you've been able to kind of veer off from your work and maybe try some new things for your own life, your own spiritual life maybe, to try to keep yourself floating during this?
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching some bits of Netflix, and of people recommending things, like
So much stuff out there.
yeah, so much. And a lot of documentaries and stuff like that, and doing my research, of like things to do during like this quarantine, and making sure you're focusing on yourself and the well-being of yourself, and recently, I've always said I wanted to do so many things, and I just never had the time because of school and work. So now, since I have the time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to build a garden, and so I decided to build a garden in my backyard. I'm going to plant some things in a couple of weeks once this frost goes away. And
That's amazing. That's so cool. So, all right. So you built a garden. What are like the main things that you're looking to grow or you're growing, or that?
so right now I'm just growing a bunch of vegetables. I have some broccoli, cauliflower, onions, peppers, and then a couple weeks, once the frost definitely goes all the way and it's a lot better weather, I'm gonna get some carrots and tomatoes and maybe corn or something like that. Since this is my first go at it, I'm just like seeing what I can actually do. And it's kind of like an awesome like experience. Because like right now it's just seeds, so I'm just making sure they're good every day, checking on them, and it's I'm not going to give up until like it's a good garden. So like I started it, so I got to see it all the way through.
What's that movie? I never saw it, but I heard about it with Matt Damon, The Martian, right? When he's in space and he's like making this potato farm or something to survive. Like I'm picturing like your existence is becoming the Martian. You're gonna like start talking to the plants and like it's like it'd be like Castaway. No, but that's really awesome, man. And so basically, we're gonna put your address in the video and then tell people. So like when everything's ready, they're gonna drive by. You're gonna throw it out the window. I think that's really beautiful. That's really awesome, and I think that reminds us of an important aspect of all this, is that the outdoors is still there for us. You know, it's there. We got to be careful about it. We can't. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I can go to the park and see my friends, and it's like, you know, I went for a drive yesterday and I saw people at the park and they were all like huddled, like hanging out. It's like that's not social distancing, right?
Yeah.
But going in your backyard or taking a walk on the block, that's still available to us, and we should be taking advantage of that, especially now because I'm looking outside the window right now. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
The weather's been really nice, and it's going to get better. We're in spring. So, what have you found in your own, like, your spiritual life? Maybe what have you found that has been maybe something that you've been visiting, or something you've been reading or whatnot that could be interesting for us?
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to, work on my weaknesses. Like I saw a bunch of things like ads and stuff like this on a motivational app, and I was like, you know what, why not? Like I like those quotes that come up and appear here and there. So one day, like, yeah, maybe it was like a rough day or something like that, and then you'll just see the quote come up on my phone, and it just like that one sentence can just brighten my day, and like for instance, this one quote like really stuck with me. It's spend more time on what gives you energy and less of what takes it away. And I think that's just such a powerful piece that we all need to think about, especially during this time, like,
Yeah, you got it. That's so important. It's so true. And the power of words, a few words can do a great deal. I think Mother Teresa always said, little things can make a great difference over a span of time. And I think the same is true with words. And thinking about what you said too, like another thing we should have mentioned earlier was this is Holy Week, and so we're filming this here during Holy Week, and we're going to release it during Holy Week. So especially a great time to look to any word, but especially scripture or any sort of inspirational words, because the whole point of Holy Week and the whole point of these moments, especially Easter, is the idea of we're losing something, right? Death is occurring, pulling us away from something, but then in the reality, it's bringing us something even greater. So much like that quote you were saying, the things that can be weaknesses or things that could take away, well, what's going to come back around that's going to make it even stronger. That's how I keep thinking about it. I keep thinking, I mean, that's, we are stuck with the option of being negative or trying to be positive. And I just keep thinking like,
yeah. And speaking about Holy Week, it has me think about, one of the scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11, it says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. And I don't know, for me, that sticks, like, especially now in this moment, things may be tough now, but, in the long run, the man above always has something planned out for us, and we just got to have hope.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so important. I think it's something to it's a good place to kind of pause here, and maybe tie up this conversation to think about, have hope in the plan, but also be humbled by the fact that we don't really know the plan.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know the plan because there still are, and not to be negative, there still are a lot of people who are losing their life to this battle and to this disease. And so, thinking about that too and saying, the plan comes in many different ways and different shapes and sizes. And sometimes the plan can be a little bit painful. But I heard someone once say, pain can lead to purpose. So we have to find the pain that leads to purpose and where that might lie. So any last words before we close it out here?
God bless.
God bless. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for joining us here for this first Campus Conversations webisode. I don't know what these are called. I've never done anything like this before, but it's pretty cool. And hopefully we can start collecting these and getting some more people from our campus to join us and hear what they're doing and hear what other gardens are being built. I have a feeling that a lot of us are creating our own little gardens and growing things, which is really, really exciting, and love to hear that. So thanks, Kris, for taking the time to talk. God bless. And have a great Holy Week and a great Easter. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me.